February 2021, Austin, Texas. A brutal winter storm blindsided millions, plunging over 4 million people into darkness as the power grid failed. Temperatures plummeted to a bone-chilling, pipes froze and burst, homes flooded, and tragically, lives were lost as desperate families turned to grills and car engines for heat, unknowingly succumbing to carbon monoxide poisoning. This wasn't a scene from a disaster movie, it was real life. And here's the hard truth, it could happen anywhere. I'm Sean, and I've been a prepper since 2012. Let me tell you something that could save your life. Most people think a winter power outage is just a temporary inconvenience. They couldn't be more wrong. When the grid goes down and the temperature drops, your home can become unlivable in as little as 6 hours. After that, it's not about comfort, it's about survival. Today I'm sharing the 11 must-have items that can mean the difference between life and death during a winter power outage. These aren't optional gadgets or nice-to-haves. These are the tools that keep families alive when winter shows no mercy. And trust me, I learned this the hard way during a 5-day blackout in Minnesota. Having a few of these items isn't enough, you need all of them, and you need to know how to use them before disaster strikes. Let's dive in.
11 emergency cooking solutions for winter survival. When the power goes out in the dead of winter, your kitchen appliances, stove, microwave, oven, even your coffee maker become nothing more than lifeless hunks of metal and plastic. The ability to cook food and boil water is no longer a convenience. It's a matter of survival. But here's the catch. Not all portable cooking methods are created equal, and the wrong choice can be deadly. Butane camp stoves are a fantastic first line of defense. They're compact, clean burning, and easy to use, even in cold conditions. However, there's a critical limitation that most people overlook. Butane fuel canisters struggle in freezing temperatures. When the mercury drops below freezing, the gas inside the canister doesn't vaporize properly, leaving you with a weak flame or no flame at all. That's why I always keep propane as my backup. Propane is a cold weather champion, performing reliably down to a bone-chilling. When your butane stove starts sputtering in the cold, propane steps in to save the day. But here's a life-saving rule you must never forget. Never use charcoal grills, camping stoves, or generators inside your home. Carbon monoxide is an invisible, odorless killer. You won't see it, you won't smell it, but it can take your life in minutes. Every winter, heartbreaking stories emerge of families who survived the storm only to succumb to carbon monoxide poisoning because they brought a grill or stove into their garage or basement. Don't let that be your story. Another often overlooked item is a manual can opener. It sounds simple, but in a crisis, muscle memory takes over. You'll instinctively reach for your electric can opener, only to realize it's useless without power. I learned this the hard way during a 3-day blackout when I had plenty of canned food but no way to open it for the first 2 hours. A manual can opener is a small, inexpensive tool that can save you a lot of frustration and hunger. For those who rely on wood burning as a backup cooking method, preparation is key. You can't just grab any wood and expect it to work. Green lumber or construction scraps produce more smoke than heat and can release toxic fumes. Seasoned hardwood is your best bet, but it takes 6 months to a year to properly dry. Start collecting and drying your wood now if you plan to rely on it. The key to emergency cooking is redundancy. I keep a butane stove for quick meals, a propane burner for extended cooking, and a small wood-burning rocket stove for worst-case scenarios. Each method serves a unique purpose, ensuring I can prepare hot food no matter what winter throws at me. 10. Water storage and purification. The lifeline you can't ignore. Water is the most critical resource for survival. You can go weeks without food, but only 3 days without water. Yet most people assume their taps will keep flowing during a power outage. That assumption can be deadly. Municipal water systems rely on electric pumps, and when the power goes out, water pressure drops. Sometimes it stops entirely. Even if water continues to flow, it might not be safe to drink. Power outages can compromise water treatment facilities, leading to contamination warning. Here's another curveball. Even if you have water, you might not be able to access it if your pipes freeze and burst. This is a common issue during winter outages, and it can leave you high and dry when you need water the most. The baseline for water storage is 1 gallon per person per day for drinking, cooking, and basic hygiene. For a family of 4 planning for a week-long outage, that's 28 gallons at a minimum, but that's just for drinking and cooking.
You'll need additional water for cleaning, washing dishes, and managing sanitation when your plumbing fails. Not all storage containers are created equal. Those blue camping water jugs might seem convenient, but they're not designed for long-term storage. The plastic can leach chemicals over time, and they're prone to cracking in freezing temperatures. Food-grade water barrels are the gold standard. They're UV-resistant, built for long-term storage, and can handle temperature fluctuations without compromising the water inside. Storage is only half the battle. You need multiple purification methods because you never know what water sources you'll encounter. Water purification tablets are compact and lightweight, but they can't remove all contaminants and often leave water tasting terrible. Portable water filters are more effective but require maintenance and eventual replacement. Boiling water is foolproof, but it requires fuel which you might need for other purposes. My system is redundant by design. I keep sealed water storage as my primary source, water purification tablets for emergencies, and a high-quality portable filter for questionable water sources. I also maintain the ability to boil water using my alternative cooking method. When it comes to water, redundancy isn't just smart, it's essential. 9. Insulation and weatherproofing. Fortify your home against the cold. Your home is your first line of defense against the cold, but it's only as strong as its weakest insulation point. When the power goes out and your furnace stops working, every gap, crack, and poorly insulated area becomes a liability. Heat escapes faster than you can generate it, and cold air seeps in through every weak spot. Plastic sheeting and duct tape are your best friends during a winter outage. Heavy-duty plastic sheeting can cover broken windows, seal off unused rooms, and create windbreaks around your living space. But not all plastic is created equal. Thin painter's plastic tears easily and won't hold up to wind or temperature stress. You need 6mm construction-grade plastic at a minimum. Duct tape might seem basic, but it's incredibly versatile in emergencies. It can seal air leaks, hold plastic sheeting in place, temporarily repair damaged insulation, and even patch small holes in clothing or gear. I keep multiple rolls in my winter prep supplies because you'll use more than you expect. Draft stoppers and weather stripping are critical when every degree matters. Those small gaps around doors and windows that you normally ignore become major heat loss points during a power outage. Pool noodles work surprisingly well as temporary draft stoppers under doors. They're cheap, effective, and can be cut to fit any opening. Here's a tip most people overlook. Interior doors can help conserve heat. Close off rooms you're not using and focus your heating efforts on a smaller, more manageable space. Hang blankets over doorways to create barriers against cold air infiltration. Think of your home as a series of zones, and defend the core zone where your family will spend most of their time. Reflective insulation can also make a big difference. Those emergency mylar blankets aren't just for wrapping people. Tape them over windows to reflect heat back into the room, or hang them behind heat sources to maximize efficiency. The goal is to create a thermal fortress within your home. Seal the leaks, block the drafts, and concentrate your heat in the smallest defensible space possible. Every layer of insulation you add extends the time you can survive without external heating. In a winter power outage, your home's insulation isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. 8. Stockpiling non-perishable food, fuel for survival. When the power goes out, your refrigerator and freezer quickly turn into ticking time bombs for food spoilage. Within hours, perishable items like milk, meat, and leftovers become unsafe to eat. Within days, you're left with nothing but spoiled food unless you've prepared a stockpile of non-perishable options. Having a well-thought-out food supply isn't just about convenience, it's about survival. Canned goods are the cornerstone of any emergency food plan. They're shelf-stable, nutrient-dense, and most importantly, ready to eat without cooking if necessary. But not all canned foods are created equal. For winter emergencies, focus on high-calorie, hearty options like stews, chili, and thick soups. These not only provide essential nutrition, but also help warm you up from the inside. Your body burns more calories in cold weather as it works to maintain your core temperature, so you'll need more food than usual. One common mistake people make is overloading on canned vegetables and fruits while neglecting protein and fats. Your body needs all three macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, especially during cold stress. Canned meats like chicken, tuna, or beef, as well as high-fat options like peanut butter, nuts, and oils, are essential for providing the energy your body craves in freezing conditions. Staples like rice and pasta are excellent for stretching meals and keeping you full, but they come with a catch. They require water and fuel to prepare. In a crisis, you need to balance your resources carefully. Sometimes eating a cold can of ravioli is a smarter choice than boiling pasta if it saves you precious fuel for heating. Quick energy foods like energy bars and dried fruits are also invaluable. They're easy to eat even when your hands are too cold to handle utensils, and they provide an instant calorie boost when you need it most. Don't underestimate the psychological value of comfort foods. Instant coffee, hot chocolate mix, and even a stash of candy can lift spirits during stressful times. A warm drink or a sweet treat can make a world of difference when morale is low. Storage is just as important as the food itself. Rodents and pests become more aggressive during winter storms, seeking both food and shelter. Store your supplies in metal containers or heavy-duty plastic bins with tight-fitting lids to keep them safe. I learned this the hard way when mice got into my emergency stash during a week-long outage, ruining boxes of crackers and pasta. The key to a successful food stockpile is variety and redundancy. Include foods that can be eaten cold, require minimal preparation, and provide comfort. Plan for more calories than you think you'll need, and always have a manual can opener on hand. When the power goes out, your food supply becomes your lifeline. 7 manual tools for emergency repairs. Your winter fix-it kit. When winter storms knock out power, they often leave a trail of destruction in their wake. Pipes freeze and burst, tree branches crash through roofs, and windows crack under the stress of extreme temperatures. Without power tools, your ability to make emergency repairs depends entirely on manual tools and your know-how. A sturdy hammer is the cornerstone of any emergency repair kit. Not just any hammer, a heavy-duty framing hammer with a comfortable grip. You'll use it for everything from boarding up broken windows to securing loose siding. The claw end doubles as a pry bar for removing damaged materials and pulling nails. Hand saws are another must-have. When your power tools are useless, a good hand saw can cut lumber for temporary repair. But here's the thing, using a hand saw effectively takes practice. Long, smooth strokes with moderate pressure cut faster and cleaner than short, aggressive motions. Don't wait for an emergency to learn proper sawing technique. A reliable multi-tool or knife is your Swiss Army solution for countless small tasks. From cutting rope and stripping wires to opening packages and scraping surfaces, a good multi-tool is indispensable. Invest in a high-quality model that holds an edge and feels comfortable during extended use. Cheap tools are more likely to fail when you need them most. Plumbing emergencies are common during winter outages, as frozen pipes often burst. Adjustable wrenches and pliers are essential for shutting off water and making temporary repair. Know where your main water shutoff valve is located and ensure you have the tools to operate it. Duct tape, zip ties, and bungee cords are the unsung heroes of emergency repair. They're not permanent solutions, but they can hold things together long enough to prevent small problems from escalating into life-threatening situations. I've used duct tape to seal pipe leaks, zip ties to secure gutters, and bungee cords to hold tarps over roof damage. Manual tools have one major advantage over power tools: they work in any condition. Cold temperatures drain batteries, moisture ruins electronics, and dust clogs motors. But a hammer works just as well at 10 bpf as it does at 70 bpf. Keep your tools organized and accessible. A toolbox buried in the garage won't help when you need to make repairs at 2 a.m. during a storm. I keep a basic repair kit in my main living area during winter months, so it's always within reach. The goal isn't to rebuild your house during an outage, it's to make temporary fixes that prevent further damage until professional repairs can be made. 6 backup heating solutions. Staying warm when the furnace fails. When the power goes out in the dead of winter, staying warm becomes a matter of life and death. Hypothermia can set in quickly when your body's core temperature drops below 90 bpf. You're in severe hypothermia, facing organ failure and potentially death. Backup heating solutions are essential for surviving a winter power outage. Portable propane heaters are one of the most practical options for emergency heating. They provide substantial heat output, run for hours on a single propane tank, and don't require electricity. However, safety is paramount. Only use heaters that are rated for indoor use and come with automatic shutoff features for low oxygen or tip-over situations. Heaters' indoor safe models are a popular choice. Kerosene heaters are another effective option, especially for larger spaces. They can run for 8 to 12 hours on a single tank of fuel and produce significant heat. However, they require more maintenance than propane heaters and emit odors that some people find unpleasant. Kerosene fuel is also more challenging to store safely. Wood-burning stoves or portable wood heaters are reliable and renewable if you have the right setup. They're particularly useful in rural areas where downed trees can provide an abundant fuel source. However, wood heating requires constant attention, produces smoke and ash, and burns through fuel quickly. You'll need a substantial supply of seasoned wood ready to go. The key to staying warm is layering your heating strategy. Start with personal warmth. Wear multiple layers of clothing, insulated boots, and a warm hat. Sub-zero rated sleeping bags can keep you warm even when room temperatures drop dangerously low. Focus your heating efforts on a single room rather than trying to warm your entire house. Choose an interior room without exterior walls and seal it off with blankets over doorways and plastic sheeting over windows. This creates a smaller, more manageable space to heat. Solar heating might seem impractical during winter, but black painted water containers placed in sunny windows can absorb heat during the day and release it slowly at night. It's not a primary heating solution, but every little bit helps. The biggest mistake people make is waiting until they're cold to start heating. Once your core temperature drops, it takes more energy to warm back up. Start your backup heating early and maintain a consistent temperature. 5 reliable lighting systems. Beating the darkness. Winter power outages bring more than just cold. They bring extended darkness. With the sun setting as early as 4:30 p.m., you're facing up to 14 hours of darkness each day. Inadequate lighting isn't just inconvenient, it's a safety hazard and a psychological stressor. Flashlights are a must. But not all flashlights are created equal. Invest in high-quality LED flashlights with multiple brightness settings, long battery life, and durable construction. Tactical flashlights designed for law enforcement or military use are built to withstand extreme conditions. Keep multiple flashlights in different rooms so you can always find one when you need it. Battery life is critical during extended outages. Alkaline batteries lose power quickly in cold temperatures, while lithium batteries perform better but cost more. Rechargeable batteries are economical in the long run but require a way to recharge. A solar battery charger can be a lifesaver in this situation. Lanterns provide area lighting that's more practical for daily activities. LED lanterns can run for dozens of hours on a single set of batteries. Hand crank lanterns are a great backup when batteries run out, and solar lanterns charge during the day for use at night. Headlamps are invaluable for hands-free lighting. Whether you're cooking, making repairs, or moving around in the dark, a headlamp provides directed light wherever you look. The elastic strap fits over winter hats, making them perfect for cold conditions. Candles can provide light and a small amount of heat, but they're a fire hazard in emergency situations. If you use candles, place them in stable holders away from flammable materials and never leave them unattended. Battery-powered LED candles are a safer alternative. For a clever lighting hack, place a flashlight or lantern inside a clear gallon water jug. The water diffuses the light, creating a soft glow that illuminates a larger area. Darkness can take a psychological toll, disrupting sleep cycles and increasing anxiety. Adequate lighting helps maintain a sense of normalcy and reduces stress. The key is redundancy. Have multiple types of lighting for different purposes and ensure you have backups for your backup. For communication and information lifelines, staying connected in the dark. When the power grid fails, it's not just your lights and heat that go out. Communication networks often collapse as well. Cell towers lose power, internet providers shut down, and even landlines can become unreliable. In these moments, information becomes a lifeline. Weather updates, emergency instructions, and the ability to coordinate with loved ones are critical. But without backup communication systems, you're left in the dark, literally and figuratively. A battery-powered or hand-cranked emergency radio is one of the most essential tools for staying informed. NOAA weather radios provide continuous updates on storm conditions, evacuation orders, and other critical information. And FM radio stations often remain operational longer than other communication systems because they have backup power and are considered vital for public safety. To ensure reliability, choose a radio with multiple power options. Battery power is convenient but finite. Hand-cranked power is renewable but requires effort. And solar charging is useful during daylight hours, though it may be limited during overcast winter storms. Radios that combine all three power sources offer the best reliability during extended outages. Two-way radios are another invaluable tool for staying connected with family or neighbors when cell phones fail. FRS family radio service radios are easy to use, don't require a license, and provide a few miles of range in open areas. While their range decreases in urban or wooded environments, they're still effective for coordinating activities around your property or neighborhood. For longer range communication, GMRS General Mobile Radio Service radios are a step up, though they require an FCC license, which is simple to obtain. For those in remote areas or facing extreme isolation, satellite messengers like the Garmin InReach or ACR Rescue Link are game changer. These devices use satellite networks to send distress signals or messages, ensuring you can call for help even when all terrestrial systems are down. While they're an investment, they can be life-saving in medical emergencies or life-threatening situations. Managing your cell phone's battery life becomes a survival skill during outages. Simple steps like reducing screen brightness, disabling unnecessary apps, and switching to airplane mode when the signal is weak can extend your phone's battery life from hours to days. Portable power banks are a must-have for keeping devices charged. Solar power banks are particularly useful for maintaining small devices during daylight hours, while larger capacity power banks can recharge phones multiple times before running out of juice. Hand-cranked power banks, though labor-intensive, provide unlimited power when all else fails. Beyond communication, information gathering is equally important. Shortwave radios allow you to access international news and updates when local sources are unavailable. Amateur radio operators often step in to provide emergency communications and local updates during disasters. Scanner radios let you monitor emergency services, giving you real-time insights into what's happening in your area. Here's a tip most people overlook: write down important phone numbers and keep them with your emergency supplies. If your phone dies or malfunctions, you'll still have the numbers you need to contact family, friends, or emergency service. Additionally, physical maps are invaluable when GPS systems fail. Mark key locations like hospitals, fire stations, and emergency shelters, as well as alternate routes out of your area. The goal is simple: stay informed and stay connected. Reliable communication and access to information help you make better decisions, coordinate with others, and call for help when needed. In a winter power outage, these tools can mean the difference between chaos and control. 3. Hygiene and sanitation essentials. Staying clean to stay healthy. When the power goes out, sanitation often becomes an afterthought, but it shouldn't be. Poor hygiene during an emergency can lead to illness, which only compounds the stress of the situation. Without running water, flushing toilets, or hot showers, maintaining cleanliness becomes a challenge, but it's one you must prepare for. Sanitation isn't just about comfort, it's about preventing disease and maintaining morale. Water is the cornerstone of hygiene, but during a power outage it becomes a precious resource. While you'll need potable water for drinking and cooking, hygiene water doesn't have to meet the same standard. Melted snow, collected rainwater, or water from natural sources can be used for washing, as long as it's kept separate from your drinking supply. Baby wipes and hand sanitizer are lifesavers when water is scarce. They're not as effective as soap and water, but they're better than nothing. Stock up on antibacterial wipes and large bottles of hand sanitizer. You'll use more than you think during an extended outage. Toilet paper is another critical item that's often underestimated. Most households keep a few weeks' supply, but a prolonged outage can quickly deplete your stock. Overestimate your needs and store more than you think you'll use. If you run out, alternatives like tissues, paper towels, or even cloth rags can work, but they're less convenient and comfortable. When plumbing fails, you'll need a backup plan for waste management. A 5-gallon bucket with a toilet seat attachment and waste bags can serve as a makeshift toilet. Camping toilets are another option, offering more comfort but requiring additional storage space. Whatever solution you choose, have a plan for safely disposing of waste to avoid creating health hazards. Feminine hygiene products are non-negotiable for those who need them. Stock extra supplies, as emergency stress can affect menstrual cycles and increase usage. Reusable options like menstrual cups are worth considering, as they don't require regular replacement and are more sustainable during long-term emergency. Soap and shampoo are essential for maintaining cleanliness, but opt for concentrated or camping-specific versions that work well in cold water. Dry shampoo can extend the time between hair washes, and small bars of soap are easier to store than large bottles. Set up a simple washing station near your main living area with soap, water, and towels. Even cold water washing is effective if done thoroughly and frequently. Dental hygiene is another area that's easy to overlook but critically important. Toothbrushes, toothpaste, and mouthwash help prevent dental issues that can become serious if left untreated. A toothache or infection during an emergency is not only painful, but can also escalate into a medical problem when professional care isn't available. Garbage management is another often overlooked aspect of sanitation. Without regular trash pickup, waste can quickly pile up, attracting pests and creating unsanitary conditions. Plan for safe storage of garbage until services resume. If burning waste is an option in your area, be cautious. Many materials release toxic fumes when burned. Maintaining hygiene during a power outage isn't just about staying clean, it's about preserving your health and morale. Feeling clean boosts confidence and reduces stress, which is especially important when families are confined to small spaces for extended periods. A little preparation goes a long way in ensuring that sanitation doesn't become a crisis within a crisis. 2. Essential medical kits and emergency health supplies. Medical emergencies don't take a break just because the power is out. In fact, they often become more frequent during winter outages due to accidents in the dark, injuries from makeshift heating methods, and health complications caused by stress and exposure to the cold. When emergency services are overwhelmed or unreachable, your medical supplies become your first and sometimes only line of defense. Being prepared with the right medical tools and medications can mean the difference between a minor inconvenience and a life-threatening situation. Prescription medications should be at the top of your medical preparedness list. Most people only keep a few days' worth of their prescriptions on hand, but extended outages can last weeks. Work with your doctor and pharmacy to build a small emergency supply of essential medication. Many insurance plans allow early refills for this purpose, especially if you explain that it's for emergency preparedness. Keep all medications in their original containers with clear labels to avoid confusion during stressful moments. A well-stocked first aid kit is another must-have. It should include sterile gauze, adhesive bandages, medical tape, antiseptic wipes, and burn gel to treat common injuries like cuts, scrapes, and burns. Pain relievers such as acetaminophen, ibuprofen, and aspirin are essential for managing discomfort and reducing inflammation. If you have children, don't forget to include pediatric formulations, as adult medications aren't always safe for kids. Monitoring tools like thermometers and blood pressure monitors are invaluable during emergency. A thermometer helps you detect fevers, which can signal infections that may require medical attention. Hypothermia, on the other hand, can cause confusion and an altered mental state, but a thermometer provides objective data to assess the severity of the condition. For those with cardiovascular conditions, a blood pressure monitor is critical. Stress, cold exposure, and physical exertion can all elevate blood pressure, and knowing your numbers can guide your activity levels and medication use. For individuals managing diabetes, preparation is even more crucial. Stock up on extra test strips, insulin if needed, and glucose tablets or other fast-acting sugar sources to handle low blood sugar episodes. Stress and irregular eating patterns during emergencies can wreak havoc on blood sugar levels, even for those who usually have their condition under control. Antibiotics can be a lifesaver when minor infections threaten to escalate into serious problems. While fish antibiotics are chemically similar to human medications, they aren't regulated for human use. If you're considering adding antibiotics to your emergency kit, consult a medical professional to ensure you're making safe and informed choices. Don't overlook dental emergencies, which can quickly become debilitating. Temporary filling materials, oral pain relievers, and antibiotics for dental infections can help you manage issues until professional care is available. Dental infections, if left untreated, can spread to other parts of the body and become life-threatening. Mental health is another critical aspect of emergency preparedness. Stress, anxiety, and sleep disturbances are common during extended outages. If you or a family member rely on mental health medications, ensure you have an adequate supply. Additionally, consider stocking over-the-counter sleep aids and stress relief tools to help maintain emotional stability during challenging times. Finally, knowledge is just as important as supply. Take a first aid or CPR class to learn how to use your medical kit effectively. Keep medical reference books or guides in your emergency supplies for quick access to information when the internet isn't an option. The goal isn't to replace professional medical care, but to handle emergencies until help becomes available. With the right preparation, you can manage medical challenges and protect your family's health during a winter power outage. 1. Emergency power systems, the backbone of winter survival. When the power grid goes down, it's not just an inconvenience, it's a domino effect that impacts nearly every aspect of your survival. Your furnace stops working, your water pump shuts off, your lights go dark, and your communication devices slowly lose their charge. Emergency power systems are the foundation that keeps everything else running when the grid fails. Without them, even the best laid plans can fall apart. Portable generators are one of the most versatile and effective solutions for emergency power. Gas-powered generators can produce enough electricity to run multiple appliances simultaneously, including heating systems, refrigerators, and communication devices. However, choosing the right generator is critical. An undersized generator won't handle the startup loads of large appliances, while an oversized one wastes fuel running light loads inefficiently. Calculate your essential power needs, like heating, lighting, and refrigeration, and select a generator that matches those requirements. Fuel storage is just as important as the generator itself. Gasoline, while effective, has a short shelf life and can degrade within a few months without stabilizers. Propane, on the other hand, stores indefinitely and burns cleaner, though it provides less power per unit volume. Diesel fuel is more efficient and stores longer than gasoline, but diesel generators tend to be more expensive. Regardless of the fuel type, always store it safely and in adequate quantities to last through an extended outage. Safety is paramount when using generators. Carbon monoxide poisoning is a silent killer that claims lives every year during power outages. Never run a generator indoors, in a garage, or near windows and doors. Place it at least 20 feet away from your home, And always use battery-powered carbon monoxide detectors in your living areas for added protection. For a quieter and more sustainable option, consider solar power system. Portable solar generators combine solar panels, battery storage, and power inverters to provide renewable electricity. While they can't match the output of gas-powered generators, they're perfect for running essential devices like lights, phones, and small appliances. Solar systems are also silent and emission-free, making them ideal for situations where noise or fumes are a concern. Battery backup systems are another valuable tool for maintaining power during outages. Uninterruptible power supplies, UPS, can keep critical devices like medical equipment or communication systems running during brief outages. For longer durations, deep-cycle battery banks can provide hours or even days of power, depending on your energy need. Power management is key when your resources are limited. Prioritize essential systems like heating, lighting, and communication over non-essentials like entertainment devices. Use energy-efficient LED lights instead of incandescent bulbs, and run high-power appliances one at a time to avoid overloading your system. For added redundancy, combine multiple power sources. Use solar panels to recharge batteries during the day. Run a generator for high-power tasks, and rely on battery backups for quiet overnight use. Hand-cranked or bicycle-powered generators can provide small amounts of power for charging phones and radios when other systems fail. Finally, don't overlook electrical safety. Improper generator connections can backfeed electricity into power lines, endangering utility workers. Use transfer switches or disconnect your main breaker when connecting a generator to your home's wiring. Always use extension cords rated for outdoor use and generator power output. Emergency power systems require planning, equipment, and preparation, but they're worth every effort. When the grid fails, having a reliable power source can mean the difference between surviving and thriving. It's the backbone of your winter survival strategy, supporting every other system you've put in place.